Since the start, Parrot has always been the good guy, the character who avoids unnecessary killing, searches for peaceful solutions, and never lets power change who he truly is. When you think of Parrot, you probably think of the hero of the Unstable SMP, the guy who always tries to do the right thing.
And I have seen firsthand what happens when power is placed in the wrong hands. I will not let that happen again. I promise that as king, I will take responsibility when others won't. And I will do everything I can to make sure that you can live peacefully on this server. This is going to be a long journey, and there will be moments where you may doubt me. But from this day forward, I promise to protect all of you as the first king of Unstable.
But then, there's this version of Parrot.
Theo, what I'm basically just trying to say is, why would I care about someone who's just like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, all I'm saying is you just like frame yourself to be this like all virtuous person, and then you're just like coldly just using him. Like, that's not right.
The one who blackmails innocent people into joining his army, executes soldiers who refuse to fight for him, allows prisoners to be tortured for information, and the list goes on. On paper, these feel like two completely different characters, but they're obviously not. So how does someone with the strongest morals on the server slowly become willing to cross almost every line that they once believed in? Once you look beneath the surface, there's a shift that's been happening since the start of Unstable. But before that, I want to thank Skely from the Unstable Analysis Discord server who made this video possible in the first place. He's the one who wrote the theory and allowed me to use it for this video, so definitely go check him out. I left his links in the description. Now back to the video. In order to understand why Parrot is slowly demonstrating an evil side to him, we need to understand the 3 stages that led to this in the first place. One of the most important but subtle things in Parrot's character right now is his repression of most events from before the treasure arc. Ever since the election arc, Parrot has mostly avoided talking about old events. After the direct arc, his character had a soft reset as he needed a fresh start. And in an attempt to forget the trauma of the past, he started considering the treasure arc the point where his journey started. For example, in the intro of I Became King of the Unstable SMP, Parrot showed flashbacks of the original capital city. However, in those scenes, Wifies, Dean, Luigi, and the Mafia are all missing. All the guards and prisoners are still visible, but all his friends aren't, demonstrating his suppression of unwanted memories, such as his friends dying, being betrayed by and losing Wifies multiple times, and even the invisibility has become traumatizing to him. Furthermore, in the intro of 100 Days as King of the Unstable SMP, as Parrot is about to give his first speech as king, he shows a flashback sequence of his journey to get to that point. Most notably, however, he only shows events from the start of the treasure arc and after. And again, during this arc, Parrot claims the spawn has been opened up for the first time ever, which obviously isn't true. Another thing to note is that Parrot is unable to open up about any of this. When Theo asked him to explain what happened in the Verdaria video, Parrot started explaining, even mentioning Wifies. But then he cut the video and didn't show us what he said. In the Sunken Empire video, Theo implied that he still didn't know what happened and how he had gotten to spawn with no items, implying that Parrot didn't actually reveal anything important. In fact, he probably skipped over everything important and avoided telling the full truth. His refusal to open up makes the emotional baggage even worse for him. So we clearly see that Parrot has trauma deeply rooted in memories that he attempts to suppress. And this trauma causes a change in Parrot. Specifically, it changes the way he justifies his actions. But before that, I just want to thank you guys for all the support on my latest videos. At the time of making this video, we literally just hit 600 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. It takes a while for me to script and edit these videos with the quality that I try to maintain. So if you want to see me make more of these high quality videos, please just scroll down, hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, might as well hit the like button. And we might even be able to overtake those AI slop Unstable creators. So thanks again for all the support so far. Let's jump back into the video. For the longest time, Parrot's morals kept him from becoming the people he fought. Even when he lost everything, he refused to become like them. But then, something begins to change. I mean, obviously not all at once, but slowly things start to build up. During the election arc, Parrot had to go through a lot of hardship due to Lettuce, such as the loss of Spectacle. And after Theo got captured, Parrot was furious, declaring to Lettuce that he should have kept this between the two of them instead of dragging Theo into the conflict as well. And then later, when Parrot and Lettuce had one final talk before the final battle in the Northern Council, Parrot didn't try to negotiate in any way, and he didn't try to convince Lettuce of anything. He didn't try to prevent the battle from happening, and he just coldly declared that it was far too late for him to stand down. Now this was obviously justified given the circumstances, but it was definitely not something that the old Parrot would do, because the old Parrot would have tried to be more diplomatic and less decisive in his jump to violence. And then, towards the finale of the election arc, Parrot was forced to fight a law soldier called Squiggly Samuel 7 after escaping prison. After defeating him and getting the information that he needed out of him, Samuel declared that he was going to report Parrot to Lettuce. Parrot didn't try to negotiate or convince him to not do it, he simply just killed him. Now again, this was justified for him to do, but it feels like a dark moment for Parrot as it's not something that he would normally do unless he's in a terrible emotional state. And then things get even worse when Parrot becomes king. For example, when creating an army to fight against Cindercrest, he captured Dancho Gold, using him to blackmail the entire merchant city vanguard to join his army. An act that was completely out of character for him and one of the things that he accused Lettuce of doing. Later, when about half of the law refused to join his army, he executed them on the spot with a TNT trap. While this was justified given that he would have to fight them otherwise, it's still something that he never would have done in the past. Yet another sign of Parrot's morals declining is how he handled the interrogation of Soldier 73, a soldier that tried to assassinate him. Parrot initially attempted to be kind and negotiate with her, though when that failed, he allowed Reina to torture her. This is his way of absolving himself of the guilt and distancing himself from the act. The fact that the soldier was tortured was his fault, as he allowed it to happen. However, he can ignore that fact as it was Reina doing it instead of him. But now we need to understand why Parrot is becoming violent and immoral in the first place. What's pushing him to do this? The reason is that he's losing faith. He is losing faith in the fact that his kindness actually works, and is actually producing the output that he wants. He is losing the faith that he's actually making a meaningful impact due to his kindness. And the clearest example of this is how Parrot was treated when he was king. Parrot did everything in his power to help his people because he genuinely cared. He wasn't perfect obviously, and he made a lot of mistakes, but he always tried. And despite this, people constantly called him a terrible king, and refused to cooperate with him. One of the worst examples of his people treating him badly is when his royal guard immediately turned on him after Saps claimed that they would be spared, revealing the true character of the people who actually surround Parrot, people who are selfish and don't care about Parrot's efforts to protect them.
I've changed my mind. If you're a new player, I'll spare you.
Theo, I don't know what's happening, but all of my soldiers are attacking me, bro.
One of the biggest signs of Parrot's slow change is his relationship with Saparata. Parrot constantly tried to talk to Saps, explaining how he was trying his best. He tried multiple times to negotiate with him, to ask him to change and see reason. But no matter what he did, nothing worked. Eventually, Parrot snapped at him, declaring coldly that he would kill him.
I'm done trying to convince you to change your mind.
Oh, really? Really? What are you gonna do about it then?
I'm gonna kill you.
Something super interesting here that's worth mentioning is that Saparata foreshadowed Parrot becoming a villain. He explained that Parrot wasn't so different from him, how he was also willing to sacrifice to see the future that he wanted, and how eventually he would also be seen as the villain. So Parrot might not be completely evil, but the three forces that we've looked at, his unresolved trauma, the gradual shift seen in his morals, and the growing belief that kindness doesn't actually work, are slowly pushing him towards decisions that are increasingly out of character and increasingly difficult to justify. So when Parrot inevitably takes power back into his hands, he's definitely going to be more ruthless than ever before. He won't let people diminish his authority again, and he's going to take matters into his own hands, and make as many sacrifices as he needs to accomplish his goals. It's unclear how far he'll truly go, as his intentions will always be good, but remember, that never stopped Lettuce from becoming a dictator before.
I just want you to understand something. No matter what happens today, you don't get to walk away from this pretending you were so different. Maybe I went a little too far, but you made those choices too. That's what Lettuce did. That's what you hated him for. And now look at you.